Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TBL here, and the E3 news just will not stop. And today we're going to be taking a look at an interview that PC Gamer Magazine's Tim Clark had with Destiny 2 game director Luke Smith. First things first, it has been confirmed that the Xbox One version of Destiny 2 will be running at 30 FPS. There was a lot of speculation about whether or not the Xbox One X would be capable of running Destiny 2 at 60 frames per second, but it looks like that question has basically been answered in the fact that they're going to have it running at 30 regardless of what its power is. Luke Smith also went on to expand a bit about the adventures that will be going on in the public patrol spaces, and how exactly those are going to change your in-game experience. Apparently, most of those adventures will be starting in a public space, with maybe a boss fight or some sort of encounter going on, that other people will be able to join in and help you complete. Once that part's done, it'll take you on into a private instance where you'll be completing objectives and learning a bit more about the enemies that you're fighting. These adventures are meant to expand the lore, give you a little bit more story, and give you a great bit of content to complete for some rewards at the end. Although it's interesting to state that originally these adventures were not going to be replayable. They were meant to be a one and done thing that you just get off of your map screen. But eventually the development team came to Smith and told him that it might be a better idea to have these events be replayable, since a game like Destiny, which is a looter shooter, is all about playing content over and over and over again. Which personally I'm pretty happy about. I don't mind doing these adventures more than once. After that, we got confirmation that there will not be any sort of migration of your character data over to the PC version. While it's not really too much of a surprise, I was really hoping that we would be able to kind of take our characters that we've built up on, say, PlayStation, move them over to Xbox, or move them over to PC. I was really hoping for some sort of unified account system there. After that, they talked a little bit about the guided game system and how it's going to work with in-game content. You as a player, if looking to get into something like, say, whatever the Trials equivalent's going to be, or the Nightfall equivalent in Destiny 2, will be able to search from a group of clans that are looking to do that activity right now. And of course, very importantly, it gives you the option to join and leave teams that may be a little bit more on the salty, toxic side. And yes, they did discuss a mechanic therein that prevents certain clans from loot-kicking Guardians at the end of activities, so booting people out before they get their in-game rewards. Apparently there's some sort of mechanic in the system that will prevent that, which is very good to hear. And of course, clans participating in the guided game system will sometimes receive extra rewards at the end of activities. Moving on from there, they talked a bit about some of the old classes in Destiny 1, specifically Sunsingers, Defenders, and Blade Dancers, and Luke Smith did confirm that they are, for all intents and purposes, mostly gone from the game. Sunsinger in particular, they talked about being kind of a difficulty to balance for in PvE, because in essence they want supers to be something that you use, and really the Sunsinger super, at least the Fireborn variant of it, really kind of encourage you to sit on that super and wait for an opportune moment. Which is part of the inspiration for why Warlocks were revamped into the Dawnblade system, which provides a more active, offensive super that looks like it's going to be a ton of fun to play. And when it comes to some of the other classes, they basically confirmed that Blade Dancer was basically transformed into the Arcstrider class. And of course that it shares a lot of abilities, grenades and jump-wise with the old Blade Dancer, but will probably be a little bit more fair and fun to play in PvP and PvE. Defender Titans, while gone in name, still have some presence within Destiny 2 however, as Sentinel Titans can indeed cast Ward of Dawn as one of their super perk tree options. Smith stated that one of the Sentinel trees actually has the option to, when you cast your super, pressing and holding down the super activation triggers will place a Ward of Dawn instead of summoning the Captain America shield. So for all you Defender Titans out there, no worries, your precious bubble is coming back. And I'm super happy to hear that. Ward of Dawn has definitely been one of the supers of choice to use in PvE. It's really held a lot of fire teams, including my own, down. After that, they got into some PvP weapon balance, which is something that really interested me. In particular, Smith stated that with the new tuning system in place, balancing weapons will no longer be done on an archetype-wide spectrum. They can now focus on specific individual guns and tune them all separately, which I have to stop and immediately say, hallelujah. Sounds to me like hopefully no more class-wide nerfs of an entire weapon archetype. The example Smith gave was about the Clever Dragon and the fast rate of fire pulse rifle archetype. He explained it like this. Let's say the Clever Dragon, the high rate of fire pulse rifle, is really powerful in the current meta. We're going to hit all high rate of fire pulse rifles in our nerf. In Destiny 2, if we have a weapon that is a specific infractor, we'll have the ability to go in and just touch that. Which is, again, hallelujah. This has been one of the big balance issues for Destiny since it came out. You can think of tons of examples like the Doctrine of Passing getting an entire archetype nerf, the Clever Dragon getting an entire archetype nerf, Thorn in the Last Word getting all of hand cannons nerfed. So seeing now that they'll be able to balance weapons individually, it's definitely a very good change. And it's certainly one I'm very much looking forward to. After that, they talked a bit about PvP matchmaking, and Luke Smith did confirm that there will be no ranked PvP playlist at launch. He did specifically state at launch. And he has mentioned before in a previous interview that they have split playlists. One party playlist, which contains the Clash and Control and etc. modes, and then one competitive playlist, which will contain modes like Countdown and the like. And while he didn't explicitly say that one is going to be skill-based matchmaking free and the other will not, they've certainly hinted that that might be the case. And while he has confirmed that the competitive playlist will not be available at launch, at least we know it's coming at some point in time in the game. Probably whenever the Trials of Osiris equivalent launches. After that, we've confirmed we've got ourselves a brand new vault. It'll be located on the farm, which is the new player's social space. And it's probably going to be functioning a little bit different than the vault in the tower did, although we didn't get into details on that. And finally, the last thing they talked about, your ships. They're still loading screens. No, you can't control them. Yeah, I know, bummer. There are a lot of people, myself included, who are hoping that our ships would play a larger role in Destiny 2 than they did in Destiny 1, but Smith says they're still just basically loading screens. But alright Guardians, that's pretty much it for a quick wrap up of that PC Gamer magazine interview with Luke Smith himself. Was there anything in this article you agreed or didn't agree with? Be sure to let us know down in the comment section below, and make sure you stay tuned to Planet Destiny, where we will be having continued coverage of everything we learn about Destiny 2. If you didn't catch any of the videos last night, the beta was confirmed starting on July 18th for PlayStation 4 and July 19th for Xbox One for the closed beta, and then a few days later on July 21st for the open beta for everyone else. PC beta hasn't quite been announced yet. It's looking to be maybe sometime in August, and the official release date for the PC game is going to be October 24th. And of course, Destiny 2 will be coming out 2 days earlier than expected on PS4 and Xbox One on September 6th rather than September 8th. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.